being able to unroot Exertus from their positions goes with Storm and B.
So look at this opener. The T is not overly concerned with too much subtlety. 4 armors, a flash, a smoke for Storm, and a decoy for Warden. Though that's one of those you buy the decoy even though I don't intend to use it. TM is through. Naked Peek is catching a player moving backwards. They don't expect them to be there that quickly. Long range engagement on top of the... They're running into each other. Shoot
Storm
them!
sees him, and
Storm sees him. That's an impressive shot. I was just stunned as to how that happened. Zephyx is the last one alive. Our LMS is fighting from mid, across CT spawn, and toward long. Has to hit a large shooting gallery of headshots, and he exposes his body to just too many bullets. Exertus takes the first.
Yeah, that was interesting over at long, that smoke situation. I thought even Warden would be able to see him, but I guess since he was at the very tail end of that smoke, his vision was actually taken away from him, since, I mean, it also looked like the terrorist, I mean, the CT would have been able to see as well. But yeah, very odd. I like how TM decided to go for that quick aggressive peek in mid. He got that kill early, and you saw the player in mid, I believe it was Raz, just did not expect it at all. Actually, it was a trick.
That's sort of like the meta within the meta. You don't expect somebody to just run in like that and not regard your defense or even think to stop. He just caught everyone off guard, or at least caught one player off guard. Zephyx is still in the site. Had a chance to get another headshot. That player that he was shooting at, TM, is very weak. He's at 10 HP, but still, the T's possess, control, and dominate bomb site B. The CTs are still pretty far away, now coming through CT spawn, catwalk, and T-spawn. You've smoked up, you've got everything locked down. Now it's a matter of let's make sure we don't rebuy next round.
Exactly. If only they were able to get TM in that take, then that would have been a very good hold for the CTs. Unfortunately, they couldn't get him, and now he's probably going to be able to escape with that 10% health.
Raz is the last one up. He's got a CZ75 and armor. Remember, and if you will show the audience the economy here, that just because they have sidearms doesn't mean they're going to buy in into the next round or 3 rounds. This pistol armor buy, if they don't get any kills off of it, can really cripple you. I mean, really badly.
Yeah, it can. I mean, they did get 2 kills. Unfortunately, that's not enough. But Raz actually walks away with a Galil there, so nice little bonus towards the end of that round right there. But yeah, their economy, they're not going to be doing any fancy three-man buys. But looking at Zephyx's cash, it looks like he'll be able to afford an op going into the next round.
Yes. For the CTs, again, one more Eco round to go. You'll probably play off of the Galil. Interesting to know where he goes, because he's probably the linchpin as to where they want to try to pick up a couple of guns. But it may not matter. 4 Ts walking into B, naked walk in, no smokes whatsoever. On top of the platform is Zephyx. He's not peeked. Now he has. He's dropped Warden with the same spot that he used the last round. And then Moses trades and clears the site. Smoke for the door and plant for the default. Same scenario as before. This time, there's a Galil on the retake. Oh my god, XP3 just hit Raz through the door.
He's on fire with that op. He even got the pick in mid as they crossed through the door. So, I mean, he's just doing work with that thing right now.
Flash step trying to chase down, hound down that opper, but he's about to run right into him as XP3 was there, just in an odd position waiting for the rotate. One alive, it's Raz, still has the armor, still has the Galil, and he may run away with it. You got another round to go, and if you really wanted to, you could save again, but maybe he's just going to plan on recycling this. I don't think he's going to live that long anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, he looked towards mid. Had he been looking towards B, he would have been able to catch XP3, and that would have been an op stripped from Exertus.
XP3 makes the right choice, though. He doesn't pursue with the op in case he loses at the very end. So they'll let him have the Galil. It's not a big deal. Now you're onto a gun round.
Yeah, so I thought Zephyx would pick up an op for Josh or someone else on the team, but it looks like he's just going for the full buy there with kit and nades and M4. So everyone's tapped for cash now except for Raz, who obviously was able to hold on to that Galil. So he's looking still pretty good. But strong B play coming out from Exertus on those first couple rounds right there. I'm wondering if they're going to stick to that. I do know they like to push through B smokes and still take the site, or if they're going to go for A this time. It looks like they're going for A.
Yeah, naked cross for the B players, which is going to be punishable very soon, and a large cap presence, a bunch pick even, maybe a single ISO pick with a close support. Nah, this is turning into a set piece. You can see the support players, XP3 up and come. Oh, he's going to turn into an entry. smoke over at mid from Moses will indicate that this may be a B wrap. Trick may panic and call his teammate over for a counter, and he does. Now they're dumping nades in the wrong spot. The majority of the presence is at the top of the catwalk, and as soon as these nades go, the execute will show the CTs that their over-rotate is punishable. Flash step is out at long. And Raz is still fighting from the elevator. Picks up 2 kills and drops the bomb, makes a huge play back at the platform. We have the gunfight going on out at mid, a lurk waiting for the rotates. How do you pick up this bomb? Now it's just a gunfight. How do you make this work? They boosted up into the smoke. Warden knew, and he picks up the second. That boost has to happen with somebody. Flash step gets flanked, 2 versus 1.
That's how you pick up the bomb right there. You just walk towards it and see the boost and pick up 2 kills like it was nothing. Warden, just amazing play right there.
Very, very good. Trick to kill him, knowing that the bomb is planted where it is. Trick has to assume that the planter has planted for the last man in the pits. Now Trick has a very hairy decision to make. Stick this, try to hit the headshot. This, that, or the other thing. If he just looked down a little bit, he could protect his head. He's sticking this defuse without a kit. Oh my god, Moses. Really, really towing the line. 4 rounds for Exertus.
Yeah, that was risky, but I mean he had to go for that because Moses was just playing with him. You know, wasn't letting him get that kill. But that round, that was interesting. You saw the setup for the cat push, and they actually did the fake, you know, the fake smoke, fake flash over to mid, which did call Raz over to CT's spawn for the rotate. But then Exertus kind of slowed it down and didn't execute on A as quickly as I thought they would for that fake, because usually when you see the smoke come out and the flash go out in mid, the T's come just charging out that door going for that B wrap immediately. But they didn't, and I think Make War Not Love realized what they were doing, and they actually set up pretty good in A, and you saw they picked up 3 kills, and then obviously Warden just kind of equalized.
Part of it had to do with Raz's heroics with the Galil. He hit some 2 really good looking shots.
Yeah.
2 at the top of Cat, and Make War Not Love plays just a little bit back. They want the headshot angle with the CZ. They may as well. It feels like playing with an M4 here, and if you're going to get a headshot with an AK, it's all the same anyway. So it's a good angle to play at. It's just, is it a tenable idea? Is it really a good strategy when you're facing off a team like Exertus? 2 kills for Raz again, and he's been very staunch on top of this catwalk. Bomb gets dropped, and this new entry creeps up looking for the platform player that's not actually there. Closest one happens to be Trick. Gonna walk right into the smoke, I think. XP3 actually, if he had jumped and looked to his right, he may have just seen the top of his beret. Bomb gets planted. Retake from Trick starts now, and he doesn't give away his position, not until the right moment. XP3 now waits. 1 versus... No, just kidding. 2 versus 2. That kill never happened. Then the turn. Zephyk still fighting. Drops 1. 1 versus 1 at the Goose, and the eco rounds have been really close. Make War Not Love is making Exertus pay for this with their economy so badly every time.
They are. These rounds, I mean, though Exertus is up 5-0, I mean, these rounds have been close, coming really down to 1v1 situations or 1v2 situations, and that was a great eco round. You know, they went for that risky play of playing the headshot angle on Cat with 2 people, like you said, but they got 2 kills from it, did a 2-for-2 trade, and yeah, they were just able to hold on and keep going with their pistols, and it almost worked out for them.
Onset of the round, Make War Not Love is showing that they'd like to have 2 people in B possess and then have a player move back out to mid late. It definitely stopped aggressive movement in. Storm with Bomb is sitting inside the tunnel. They'll let that smoke dissipate, then maybe go for an XP3 pick. Solo supported. I like the play. You can see the positioning of the players at mid definitely, I think, gearing up for the mid wrap.
Yeah, they are. If XP3 hits this, then they're just going to go for it immediately.
Now, remember, Zephyx has played that one spot on the plat multiple times, and XP3 is zoning in on it. You can't get away with doing that too many times versus him. Look at the flick. Trick is down. Then in the site, outside of the site, actually, is Zephyx still holding his position. They knew the wrap was coming. They couldn't stop him. Ooh. Raz hits a difficult-looking one, but it's only a leg shot. And they'll try to block him off with even more smoke.
And I actually like how Exertus timed that. They didn't wait for XP3 to actually, you know, confirm the pick. They started heading out mid regardless of whether or not he hit it, and that kind of moved the B player off his position and had him start moving around through the side, so it made it easier for XP3 to, it made it more exposed for XP3 to get that pick. And
definitely.
I mean, they just had a better time, easier time, you know, taking over mid with 1 person rather than 2 coming out from B.
Yeah, interesting observation. Moving players off their spot is not always a matter of doing damage to them or even killing them. It's sometimes just the threat, you know, the potential of being in a different position.
Yeah, and if you don't trust your mid player to defend that spot, because I mean you got to be wary of the people in B tunnels when you see the CT smoke drop. You have to have faith in your mid player and the swing player for May to be able to stop that mid to B wrap, and you just got to focus on the tunnel, make sure you get those kills.
6 rounds for Exertus. We're on to our 7th, and Make War Not Love has yet to put one up on the board, but that's how you start it. Defeat the Opper by counter-opping. Raz is not afraid of XP3's extensive resume. He goes head-to-head. Yeah, you know what? I like the attitude of the Make War Not Love guys. I do. They are...
They got the confidence. They do.
They just ignore the traipses and the trappings of reputations and such. TM hits one, and while Blind tries to go for a second, misses it, they disengage, and the fight will recontinue and be rejoined right now as the #1 player is flanked. Storm is waiting, and he gets dinked. 3 versus 4. And then 3 versus 3. Josh BM drops. The bomb's at A, and look at the full rotate. All the CTs are moving toward B. They're still moving toward B.
Yeah. They don't know yet, which I feel like Raz should have been able to hear bomb from CT's bomb.
What is Flash Step is actually at the site.
Oh, no.
He's not using his headphones. Use your headphones.
What?
Use your headphones.
No, that did not just happen.
Is Flash Step playing with music? Is like Flash Step with the brackets like music in a pub right now?
They had enough people at that site that they couldn't hear any beeps. That is. And Raz drops the op for an AK? What?
I don't even...
So many question marks that round. And then Flash Step saying in chat, that fake worked so well. It did. I don't know, though, because I feel like Exertus didn't walk through Cat, and Raz was in CT spawn. I feel like they should have heard it. Maybe I think they need to check their volume levels.
Here's the crazy thing. Make War Not Love. They can shoot every bit as well as Exertus, but they're getting juked. Like, it's the veteran presence of these teams, like Exertus, I suppose, that's really catching them. It's kind of odd. Moses to go for a double. They cleared out B again. This has happened so often. They've cleared out B so many times now that I have to believe that with the limited tape that Make War Not Love has put out there, Exertus has seen something. They're like, I don't respect this B. We're just going to come in through the front door every time.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the case, or they just feel like, you know, they're the better aimers regardless, and they don't need to be careful about going out B, so... And honestly, Make War Not Love hasn't given them any other reason not to do that. So until they start taking advantage of Exertus just playing aggressive and coming out B, you know, with no flashes or anything, then they're gonna keep doing it.
Okay, well, Make War Not Love. They've been saving. They've been retreating after bomb plants. At some point, you know, tending to your economy is no longer relevant. You have to make some big plays. So 8 rounds surrendered without a round win is now the time.
I mean, Josh BM has 11k, Flash Step has 10k. They need to start getting rounds. I mean, Exertus is at 8, so yeah, they need to start getting rounds. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble going to the next half. I mean, we think that the map is, you know, CT dominant, especially with Exertus, the way they play CT side. It's not normal for most teams, and they usually get a good number of rounds CT side. So I mean, yeah, Make War Not Love is in a bad position at the moment.
MWNL has actually been so traumatized by these B takes that they've swapped to a 2-1-2 formation, even a 2-2-1 formation. Now, Exertus, knowing that they would panic, have moved over to long, but it looks like MWNL is doing at least a admirable job holding off their aggression. Flash Step trades 1 for Moses' kill, and they can't determine who's going to go up on the platform. There it is. That's an automatic thing. You know, you have to play with your team long enough to know that you're the guy going up on the plat. I'm the guy staying down here, you know?
Yeah, you boost me. No, you boost me. No, you... Okay, I'll boost you.
I like your beret. Your balaclava's cute. I like that. 3 to control mid, late round control for mid. Now they'll reset the round as if it had just begun, and they'll try for an entry at the top of Catwalk. or perhaps reverse back depending on where they find these kills. Not a whole lot of time to execute. XP3's lurked and flanked with an op. He doesn't even care that he doesn't have an automatic weapon. He needs to back off in case the elevator player comes. There is the second. He stands up. XP3 was waiting for him with crosshair trained, and he had to have known he was going to be there. Shot missed, and then traded 2 versus 2. 20 seconds remaining. The bomb plant happens now, and both CTs are on the flank and now coming for the retake. One to Cat, one for Long. Both Ts remain in the site.
I do like that they're coming from long since they did kill XP3, so they don't have to really worry about the op being on top of the platform. And they're not just both coming from the same fire window, but then that happens.
Yeah, 1 versus 1. Storm out of his element into the other bomb site behind the 2 box. Zephyx kind of knows and will try to strafe him. Has a chance, picks it up, will also defuse after a fashion. It will be the first round for Make War Not Love.
Yeah, that was a good job. I mean, you know, Exertus tried to get control along early, and they traded out 1 for 1, and then Make War Not Love backed out, and they almost had a slip there where they didn't have anyone looking towards long when they knew that Exertus was coming cat, and XP3 got 2 kills. But they managed to just keep making trades, and then that nice dual take from A and Cat, you know, even though the Cat player got annihilated, he was there to get the trade out long, and then he just cleaned it up nicely.
Counter flash, you can see him moving toward the blue. Warden is dropped, and TM trades somehow through the smoke. You can still see that somebody's here if you're on Exertus' team. Oh god, TM sprays down, and on maybe his 10th bullet picks up flash step. He is very weak, but so is Raz, and Exertus has for the most part won this engagement. I'm sure, knowing Exertus' tendencies, they don't like to full aggro long, and it takes a lot. They have to be very confident for them to do this. It's more common for them to send someone pit and then drop back out to mid.
Yeah, and picking up 2 kills though, and then you have XP3 with his op able to help work up long. I think they're feeling just fine.
He'll spray through, find the plat player. Moses, without even really fully stopping his feet, will drop him with a violent spray. Zephyx is the last one alive, has an op versus 3. And maybe if he hits a pick early, he'll have a chance, but I don't think he's really going to try so much as wait for exits.
Yeah, I mean, so many rounds have passed that it's almost, you don't want to say to save this because they need to pick up rounds, but looking at their economy, I mean, they're most like, no, Flash Step has plenty of money. I mean, they could...
Do you think they're playing scared? I mean, think about how many saves we've seen.
No, I don't think so, because, I mean, we've seen certain scenarios where they're playing confidently, and they're, like, we saw Raz, you know, counter-picking XP3 in mid, so I wouldn't say that they're playing scared at this, I mean, right now, but I think they are making mistakes. Maybe that is actually getting in their head that, you know, they're realizing, hey, we're making mistakes, and we need to correct it, and they just, they just can't get it together.
Tragedy strikes, the off is lost at the very end, scoreline 9-1. What to do? What to do? This is your final buy. You can show the economy one more time if you'd like. They're down to 850, 0, 1150, 50. This is the round to make. 1 and 1 exchange. 18 HP and 19 for XP3. Apparently, shooting downhill does 1 more point of damage. Storm on the trade. Raz has been very good thus far. I'd actually like to take a look at his scoreline. He's had some standout kills, and appropriately he is top fragging, but not by a large margin. He's in with his cat play.
Yeah, he's been doing good. I mean, honestly, if you look at the kills, Make War Not Love hasn't really been doing terrible. I mean, like I said, all these rounds have been pretty close when it comes down to it, but they just can't finish, and that's why we're seeing such a dramatic score difference.
You wonder if this is a lot like the sort of trial by fire that Mythic went through last season, where they started off and they were not ready for the Storm. Chill, buddy.
XP3, I'm coming around T spawn. Storm, I don't believe you.
I'm just making it a little harder, man. I just want to see if you can do it. Here's that same op battle that happened at the beginning of the round. Zephyx wins it, and that op was a little bit of overkill. 2 left for the T's, and perhaps we see a second round put on the board for Make War Not Love. Again, with the Mythic storyline, they improved so much over the course of the season, and Lex vocalized it best. He said, you know, we are thankful for CEVO-Pro for being a larger division than, say, ESEA Invite, because it allows teams to grow. It's not the same 9 teams over and over and over again. These teams that are maybe the bottom tier of the CEVO-P get in. They are inundated and baptized, really, really baptized, and then they come out better. Make War Not Love has beaten some of the lower tier P teams, but Exertus is on a shelf maybe one rung higher.
Yeah, I think they are as well. But I mean, yeah, I agree with that statement that, you know, being able to be in P and play against these upper level teams, it helps out tremendously. I mean, it's good to play against better experienced teams because that's how you get better. You learn new things, you review the demos, see what they did to against you, what you could have done to prevent it, and you just learn and you get better as it progresses.
We had an opportunity for Flash Step to make a play. He flashed through and almost charged through, but now he's relied on his teammate Josh BM to pick up the kill. 2 versus 3. Look, at this point, you need to try to retake this round. XP3 waits and blows away Josh BM. So Flash Step's the last one alive. Armor Kit, Flash Nade, and M4A1. Everything in the Counter-Strike textbook tells you to save this gun, but I almost want him to just try.
And he's going to, but yeah, I think he has to go for this as well. Just with the amount of rounds I'm doing.
And a M4A1 for Storm after his kill. There's the scoreline 10-2.
But let's just take a look at the kills. So, I mean, for Make War Not Love, it's 10, 9, 6, 6, 5. For Exertus, it's 12, 14, 8, 6, 4. I mean, the kill difference really isn't that dramatic in this half so far. So, I mean, you know, Make War Not Love is getting kills, but they just can't close out the rounds to get these finishes.
Maybe you master shooting and you master the pop flashes that you see in videos, but sometimes when you get there, when you get to the pros, there's just some next level of thinking that you need to adapt or understand.
It could also be the pressure of, you know, I mean, they do well at the start of the round, and then it gets to a 2v2 situation, and they really want to win, and maybe the pressure just gets them, and they end up falling flat to finish off the round.
Okay, and so much disparaging of Make War Not Love. What if it's just Exertus being disgustingly good this season?
That is also very relevant as well. I mean, they showed against Justice Pro that they were looking really strong, and I mean, obviously they're showing it again against this team.
We're gonna dive for that gun. Trick is duly punished. TM will hit the shot, then Moses on the lurk, maybe looks for one, and then a second. That's it. 11-2.
So that was their save round. Make War Not Love is obviously going to be able to buy here, and they have to buy. But the amount of rounds that are left in this half, I mean, even if they do pick up these last two, it's just probably not going to be enough. I hate, you know, being a negative Nancy, but that's just the fact of the matter. But honestly, I mean, I feel like they did a pretty good job thus far. You know, a couple of things that they probably could have done differently is they just, well, obviously not been sold off by that fake and been standing around B without the bomb taken down in A, but you know,
there are a couple of things. The way the flash mechanics work at the pro level at long, who flicks and who throws the support and who boosts when, and when to know how to do all these things, that comes with time, and also using your headphones to retake A instead of B. That doesn't take time. That takes, you know,
crank up the volume.
That takes a headphone sponsor. Someone hook them up. Yeah, crank up the volume. Exactly. So, you know, they're well on their way. Exertus, well, they are humming. They're in mid-season form. I don't know if this is true for Counter-Strike teams because the off-seasons are short, but if there's ever a thing like mid-season form, Exertus is in it.
I think that was definitely true for Exertus last season. They started off kind of slow, and then towards the end of the season, they got their stride, and that's when they made it into playoffs and actually had a good run. So, but yeah, I think Exertus is looking strong. I want to see them go up against Complexity and iBuyPower and see how they go against those guys.
Here is the final round of the first half. Round 15, it's buyout for both teams. Op 4 M4s, 1 M4A4 specifically, with an incendiary on Raz, who throws it just a tad too early. Exertus has not shown that they want to execute that early, with the exception of one round. So maybe that was just a bunch of money thrown away. Exertus, for them, they have 3 AKs, a CZ, a P250, and a lot of rounds to work with and not to feel worried about. That's going to be good. That'll do significant damage. Oh, it sails right past
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
It sailed right past Moses.
One of them bounced and hit correctly, but then the other one just right into the back of his tunnels.
Hot flash. Raz maybe flashes everybody in the doorway, sprays through, picks up one, needs to have this headshot before he reload. Oh my lord. Oh, it was flash step. I thought he had just amazing senses through smoke like that, but this round looks really good. So it's the same story over and over again. It's the where are we positioned? They've tried everything. They've done a 2-2-1. They've done a 2-1-2. They start off with an overload at one side or another, and it's seemingly coming together just a little late in the half.
Yeah.
But I swear, and I feel like I'm just being an undying optimist here. They've got the tools. They've got the tools. They really do.
They definitely do. I mean, we saw from how close these rounds have been that they can hang in terms of aim. It's just you know, closing out the rounds and having the game sense in those situations when things are changing and, you know, the teams are mixing it up and going to different spots that you got to be able to adjust and, you know, sense what they're doing. But I mean, they do finish off, I guess, strong, you know, getting those last two. And you could say that, you know, they should know Exertus's CT side enough that they could potentially stage a comeback here.
Halftime is 11-4. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. Game 2 of our triple header is well underway, and our second half waits on the players to ready up. We are missing the MWL team, most all of them, with the exception of Zephyx. So I suppose we jump on the MWNL bandwagon just for a second and say, how do we win this pistol round? What do we need to do?
The pistol round, well, I think, you know, maybe they want to try to go out long, try to hit it, and just get one kill, and then maybe back out and use their 4 versus 5 advantage that way.
Massive overload?
Yeah, I mean, if they can get, you know, I think they should know that Exertus is going to stack cat, because that's usually what they do. Maybe the pistol round they won't, they might stack long, but, yeah, I mean, that would be my recommendation. Go for the overload, try to force the kill, and then work from there.
Okay. All right. I'd like to see that. It's sort of an unorthodox play, but going into this, if you want to take over one side of the map in a hurry, long is going to be the way to do it, especially with the flashes over. Let's see their purchases. You're going live for the second half. After this, it's Complexity versus Lunatic coming up in just a few. Armor, no purchase, 2 supports. Yeah, there's the 3rd armor. We're going long. Nah, looks like a 2 to B tunnels, 1 to spot, 2 out to mid. We're going to try to control mid and maybe even work up cat.
Was Make War Not Love the one we saw where they did that very impressive fake and they pulled all the CTs towards mid and then went around long? I think we're about to see that same strategy.
Wasn't that Justice Pro?
Was it just? I think it was, well, Justice Pro I think played Make War Not Love, and I think it was Make War Not Love who did it.
Could have been. Zephyx is the first. TM makes a thunder-footing attempt to go trade, and he does anyway, even though he was so loud. There's the second. That's a good one for Raz to pick up. It's a one-on-one battle. Warden sees way too many Glocks on hand, so he drops back and maybe hits the shot. No. Trying to go for a headshot, then is mowed down promptly. Look through that smoke. Raz is waiting. This is a good-looking pistol round. Storm's the last one alive, and even though he's good at that bomb site, he can't survive the Glock spray down. 5 rounds for Make War Not Love, maybe 2 more.
So yeah, I guess it was Justice Pro who did that, but either way, it was a good pistol round. You know, they decided to go heavy on the mid, and TM, you know, he went for the aggressive push onto Cat, and he picked up 1 kill, but it looked like they were looking for it, so I'm glad they would notice what they were doing and looked out for that aggression, and they picked up the kill and only traded 1 for 1.
Triple stack to long, that backs off, going back toward Cat. Exertus is looking to pick up an early one at long. TM just gets a little nosy and is picked off. Looks a bit like a throwaway eco around here as Josh BM is here waiting for the flank. Sees 1, then picks up. Oh no, XP3 with the speed turn finds Josh BM, trades, picks up his weapon. Oh, just kidding.
It was just
have
a pistol,
weapon.
Yeah, so not that much of a gain for XP3 right there.
And maybe another picked up here. Warden's gone. 4 versus 2. Everyone presses into long as they take over presence here. The first encounter that they will see will be at the top of Cat or elbow. And maybe that player moves all the way to the platform. Look at the number 7 tucked in at the white box here. Moses. He's going to try to either go for a big flanking play or, dare I say, the ninja defuse with no kit. I would love the second. There's one. And if the CZ was as accurate as it was before, that would have been 2. Look at this. XP3 so far away. He has no intention of winning. He just wants to get that kill.
Yeah, I mean, XP3 only has 16 health, and he's got to know that there's someone watching long, so, I mean, if he went for it, he'd most likely lose. But, you know, not saving anything, he could potentially get an exit kill if they try to come out long, but that's...
Why does he not want to die? Does he want the money?
I don't know, I feel... I think he just knew that he was worthless with his 16 health and wasn't going to make an impact. Because, I mean, had he been in a better health situation, he would have been a pretty good distraction long, and that would have been given... a little help to Moses, who was on platform.
I see he got money anyway. So 11 rounds for Exertus still. Make War Not Love it. 6, maybe one more. And suddenly that gap is very, very small in terms of numerical difference, but in terms of actual gameplay difference, Exertus would still hold sway over that momentum.
Yeah, we see Exertus picking up a bunch of CZs here, so this could be could be dangerous if Make War Not Love does something rash.
We've got 2 players still spotting at T-spawn, presuming that Exertus is wanting to push, maybe out along, maybe through mid. But eventually this strat ends up at B. The bomb is here, the entry is here, Raz misses the shot over the top of the big box, and he's given himself away, but there's not any extra noise. That's the most important part. There's not any extra noise coming out of B, so they could execute on this if they so chose.
Yeah, you see the triple stack on Cat, and it does look like that Make War Not Love after Raz getting dinked right there. They might be thinking about altering what they're doing, but it does actually just look like they're possibly setting up for the B-Rap.
They will check Cat momentarily, and then they will definitely execute this B-Rap. The positioning of the bomb and the timer on the clock tells us that this pretty much is a done deal. Now it's all the time to get this job done. 2 alive, still in the site, and the flank is on. Flash Step unable to control his AK at all. And then Moses here for the trades. Then he picks up 2, and then finally Raz stops that one. They almost lost it all on that round. Raz saves his gun, gets a little bit extra cash for himself.
Yeah, that worked out really well for Exertus. I mean, they had 3 people stacked on Cat, so all they had to do was just jump down through T mid and flank them through the double doors. They had one person go down through CT to make them think that the rotates were coming through the smoke, and that they were safe through the smoke, which wasn't the case whatsoever. So yeah, that did almost become a round win for Exertus.
Zephyx has been faster than XP3 maybe 2 out of 3 times now. This is
actually Raz on the CT side, but yeah, Zephyx is doing a great job opping as well.
Yeah, well... No, I have seen Zephyx. Maybe Raz also out-opt XP3. Maybe
no, I'm just thinking of the time through double doors. But yeah.
Oh, yes. Mid-control for Make War Not Love, a very passive mid-control that turns into a late long execute. I'd like to see whether or not these players are setting up for a set smoke in, or they're going to try to solo pick and isolate the player at the corner. The number 7 man is the corner player. That's Moses.
Flash Step is actually on a set flash. He's going to pop it in for him, and then they're going to charge out.
This is good. This is well thought out. Still the number 6 player is close, not the outside of the pit. If they turn all the way, they're going to see him completely flash, and he still turns and gets the kill. TM makes a big play. Then Moses comes back to try to bail him out. 2 versus 2, and the AK wins the battle at the long corner. Still TM is alive, still fighting. The number 1 man, or the number 6 man, excuse me, exits through smoke, and the strat for Make War Not Love turns back around, probably toward Cat.
TM did make a big play right there, but I mean, Moses was counter flashing for him, which allowed only one person for Make War Not Love to peek, and that's why he didn't just get the kill immediately, because he was flashed as well. So I mean, it was good teamwork all around.
One of the shortcomings of the bunch pick and the bunch pick offense is that you tend to give away some of the map knowledge and the info that you could be gathering. Make War Not Love is surely going to win this round. Definitely going to win this round, unless Storm does something utterly ridiculous. But they could have also scoped out B, realized there was 1 player, and took the better odds.
Yeah, I mean, they did get 2 kills. They got XP3 in mid, so they know that it's just going to be Storm and B. And then they got the pick at A, but, you know, then you also have to know it's Storm and B. Do you want to try to take his land away from him? I don't know.
You're right.
He's a tough cookie, yeah.
I'm not sure that they're thinking so deep about personnel matchups like that, but we saw, and the only reason I brought it up is because as soon as Exertus knew that they gave up long and they were in elevator, they were running through CT, assuming that Make War Not Love had somebody scouting B. So they were running through CT to get ready to go fight at B, and they were surprised that it was still an A commit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe that was Make War Not Love's idea was, yeah, you know, they'll standard think we're gonna rotate to B now, but we won't.
Maybe that would be high level meta on meta.
It really would.
XP3 dives out, picks up a gun, drops the bomb behind the Xbox. One more kill? No, he can't. He doesn't. He gets traded 2 for 1. Then we have the dive bomber. CZ's out to mid. Huge firing squad, but nobody has more than 12 bullets. It took just a few. Josh BM's down. 1 alive for the T's. The eco round is pretty much a huge success for Exertus, or if you'd like to look at it the other way, a huge failure for Make War Not Love.
I think it was just a huge success for Exertus. I mean, they pushed at exactly the right time. So you saw XP3 go through mid while they were looking that way. They came from cat as well, and obviously the power of the CZ is just still pretty ridiculous.
So they scouted Zephyx. They know where he is, and they tried to get the drop on him. Now they're going to force him to come through the smoke and make a play, but I doubt he's going to. This is a scenario where you definitely want to save this off. Look at how many utility nades you have. Look at the armor you have. Make sure that you take care of this gun, which is not what he's doing. Oh my god. I am nervous. I can't see the reasoning as to why he would do that. He can't win the round.
He was going for it. I mean, if he grabbed the AK and gone to B, obviously I think he would have had a better chance. But he didn't know that guy was the top mid, unfortunately. But yeah, he was just going for the yellow. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But I think he knew Exertus had that round regardless. But you know, I mean, now it's 12-8. Had they got that round, it would have 9-11. Man, that's so unfortunate that they lost that eco.
Exertus up on the money, and this is a crucial round for the T's to win. They don't have much. They're smoked out. They're running through fire. XP3 has 1, then 2, then close up to him at the big box. His trick before he took him down. XP3 rattled off 1 more shot, dropped Raz, and cleared out the site just a little bit more. 1 flank. TM knows it. There's the drop. There's the kill. Please. There it is. Trick's the last one alive. And he holds B. And he's yet to plant the bomb. Warden's already in the site. At the window, 13-8.
Flash Step was in a pretty good spot to get a good flank there. Unfortunately, he just made a footstep, and TM heard it and immediately caught on. It was just waiting for him. But I mean, that
one little tink when you hit the top of that dumpster is
that could have been. Now. I mean, that could have been huge. Had they not known, he would have had the drop on both of them. Probably would have just taken that round away. I'm surprised they decided to rush through the smoke and the fire going into B. That was odd to me.
It makes more sense if you have a team that's been scouting B, right? It makes a lot more sense if you have a team that's been peeking into B, notices maybe you have only 1 player there at the beginning of the round, but Make War Not Love has never scouted B. That was a blind B selection, which leads me to believe that this is sort of just the puggy rush B. This just rush B, let's do it.
We haven't touched B in a while, let's see if we can just take it.
Which is the wrong reasoning to be doing something at this level of play. Definitely. Moses should have probably had that kill. Spray down. There's another if he just spams a little bit more forward. Never mind, it'll be XP3. XP3 has a double in the round to end it, 14-8. They sit very close to the tie point.
They do indeed. Excuse me. Make War Not Love is obviously going to be able to buy here. No op, though, unfortunately, which is actually... It's unfortunate because Zephyx has been strong with that op, and we saw him outpick XP3 earlier. I'm sure XP3 will go for an aggressive peek in mid once again. But, I mean, yeah, they definitely have the tools to do what they need to get this round. We saw them do a nice set piece at long. If they, you know, wait how they did previously to have the third man rotate back, the push.
Definitely the push.
Yeah. Warden getting a little too aggressive, and he gets punished, and Raz didn't really take any damage for that, so this could be dangerous.
So we have a set flash here. Flash Step is waiting to get a teammate into long. The same bunch pick, though this angle really allows only for an ISO pick and a close support to trade if you do fail that pick. Still, they'll try to burst out, maybe take the site. And now there's a lurk out at the top right of mid. It's I think it's Zephyx looking at the catwalk, and maybe they'll have more information this time around when they push through. It'll turn into a 3-2A. It looks like it's turning into a 3-2A.
Yeah,
or a 5A. for
It looked
long.
like the same situation as last time where, you know, Exertus kind of rotated thinking, hey, they're going to probably try to go B now, but nope, it's a full A take.
Impressive looking first burst by Josh BM, who hits TM as he was coming up over the top of the catwalk. Then one more at the Goose. XP3 trying to hit a jumping no-scope op shot, though it would have been one for the highlights. It's no good. 14-9. 14-10, actually, I believe. Nope.
9, yeah.
The score actually updated. Remember on our old servers when the score would just wouldn't update?
It would sometimes update, and then sometimes it would update when the next round actually happened.
Thank God, CEVO client. Thank God.
Yep. So Exertus buying out, and their economy is actually hurting pretty bad. So if Make War Not Love can manage to pick up this round again, then they should be good to keep it going, because that's going to force Exertus into a save. Pop flash right there, and unfortunately it didn't work out for TM.
Moses attempts to hold the corner, is doing a decent job of it, gets traded. The T's have won that trade off 2-1. At the back of the platform, Warden trying to dodge an aid, doesn't do too good of a job of doing that. He's waiting for the rotates to come, and he'll have to hold the site by himself before anybody can arrive. Then the Lurk, then XP3, who had the no-scope attempt last time, will try it one more time and miss the shot. Elevator drop on an experienced player like XP3 is not going to work. He turns, finds him, then chases down this player who's in behind him. 14-10. I am not going to be the one to say it, but you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking.
Comeback, I think it's been on for a while here, especially with this eco. I mean, they got to watch out because Exertus, you know, they went for that aggressive CZ pick push last time, and they ended up winning that eco run. Which, think about it, if Exertus didn't get that round, I mean, Make War Not Love would probably be looking at something like 11-12 maybe, something closer to that.
I'm just gonna say this. For Dust 2, you never see the bunch pick. You always see the ISO pick with the support and everyone's spread out. And Raz is P90 mowing. No respect for Exertus. Out in mid, TM's about to get gunned down. 2 HP trying to make it into lower B. There's no chance he survives this round. He's got 2 HP and he's still fighting out of... How is he still alive? What? There it is. Moses is the last. He's just trying to get this over with. I think he gets a kill, makes some money for himself, but this round is mostly a doomed cause.
He could get that gun and save it.
Yeah, he definitely could. Another thing, another veteran move that isn't happening right now for Make War Not Love, guarding the gun. You know what Moses' objective is. He knows he probably can't win the round, so he wants to pick up the AK. You gotta guard it.
Yeah, you know it's one man left at mid, and you have someone flanking for B. You don't need to send all three up to A with the bomb. I mean, just send 2, and you have the guy in mid to get the flank if he decides to stay. But yeah, you want to protect that AK and make sure he doesn't save it. But they do end up getting the kill anyway, so I guess it's okay.
Make War Not Love. What I was just saying is, we see the ISO pick, we see defaults, we see passive defaults that are looking for pushes. Never do I see the bunch.
Oh,
this
no.
is not in European play. Oh no, it's the rush. You know what? For running straight into the Thunderdome, Storm kind of failed. I know he traded 1-1, which is fine, but really, when you're head to head with Storm and you got smokes in your face, like that's fine. I like that. Unfortunately, it's not. Also, it's not. You got to look for your flank, and it's starting to fall apart.
And where is Flash Step on that lurk? He is just so late to the party. They're already in B. And, I mean, XP3, he played that really well. He immediately backed up to the very back of the site, and that initially stopped their rush to continue further into the site and let the rotates come quickly. And they couldn't even get the bomb down. So, I mean, XP3 did a good job, even though Storm died early.
Flash Step to clutch it all or give up the tie point. One at the back of the platform, one close to his right at the default, and another in the tunnel. He's going to come in pre-firing, and it looks like we've got
a hiccup in the server.
Another hiccup. Good news is that there's a third match if we want to get to it.
Yeah. And I mean, we could find out if this match is actually over because it's 2 minutes into the future. We're on the GoTV delay, so we can ask our producers how the match ended.
If it ended.
If it ended, yeah.
Okay,
we're back.
Oh, yeah, nice. CEVO servers built for tough. Take that, assholes. I mean, oh.
You spoke too soon, jinxed us.
No! I'm sorry. You're all nice people, I swear.
Oh no.
God, please.
Maintain.
Maintain the Jedi focus.
Don't you do it.
Don't you do it, server.
Oh, I lost connection.
Oh! Oh. It's
My
because there was a client
wants
update. God darn you, Valve. What are you doing?
2 days in a row? Come on, Valve.
That wasn't even a DDoS. That was Valve.
Valve DOS?
God.
The Valve DOS? Well, maybe ask Mr. Spangler if the match actually finished, so we can find out if they won or who won, if it did.
Oh my God. Okay, let's update the clients.
Oh, wonderful.
Going. Did Valve bet on this game? Is that what?
Valve wants the skins.
Look, I put like 40 value on MWNL. This cannot happen. You know who I am? I'm Vitali. This can't happen. Okay. So what's the deal? We should probably jump into Complexity versus Lunatic. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I mean, if that's going on, I mean, we're already half an hour past due of that, but I see Hiko talking in chat, actually, so I don't know. Are they playing?
I see in the back end right now that the players from Exertus and Make Warlock Not Love are saying good game already. So I think the Go TV was taken down by the patch, but these players, I think they finished within those 2 minutes, then I think Exertus won.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, Exertus had, it looked like